Mets fans, I got to give the Mets credit. They went out yesterday, didn't show up whatsoever, and I said in my show yesterday that the likelihood of the Mets losing in that fashion again would be very slim this year. And boy, oh boy, did they prove me wrong. They decided to give me a steaming pile of shit on a platter today, and their series loss to the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that had no home runs throughout their first series, decided to hit 7 against this Mets team, including hitting not 1, not 2, but 3 back-to-back-to-back bombs off of Mad Max today. This entire team was god-awful, absolute schmucks. I have a lot to say about this, and I'm not happy that I'm almost in a rant fashion here as we're only game 6 in the season, but every game's important, and when you go out and literally perform nothing on any facet of the game, from the pitching to the offense, for a 24-hour span against the Milwaukee Brewers, I don't know how you can gain any positives out of this. I'm not going to sit here and say that, it's early in the season, it doesn't matter, because it does matter. There are a lot of things that matters, and this loss certainly matters. This series loss matters. The Mets didn't have their first series loss last year until sometime in May. They weren't below 500 at any point in the season last year. We're already facing both those things before we even get to the Mets home opener. So yes, you look at 2022, I already feel spoiled for that team in comparison to the start of this year. And I know I'm not trying to overreact here, but I got a lot to say because I'm beyond pissed off. And if you're a fan that actually had the nerve of watching the last 2 days worth of games, which I feel terrible for all you that did, then you know that these emotions are true and they're raining high. So again, we're going to be breaking this down, everything that transpired in this ball game. But in a nutshell, again, if you watched, then you know this was absolutely pathetic on all fronts. I cannot believe, and guys, I apologize. I know that the scoreboard's wrong. It was 9-0, not 10. I'll change it in a minute. I didn't even really feel, there really isn't anything that needs to be done. I'm not even going to change that. It says Brew Crew made NYM look drunk, because they did. Once again, this is the same graphic as yesterday. I don't even care that it's not the same. All right, 9-0, 10-0, potato. It does not matter. The same results applied. Mad Max had a rough start, had a rough finish. He looked washed in his start today. And let me clarify, I don't think Max is washed as a whole, but he looked putrid today. He was hanging breaking balls right down the pipe. Heaters weren't looking strong either. Nothing was going for the Mets pitching-wise for a good portion of this game, and neither was there any offense. Where is the offense? I'm sorry, did they just decide not to travel to Milwaukee? Is that what we just saw transpired? I mean, I'm flabbergasted. I'm so pissed off right now. It is unbelievable. And the fact that we're only game 6 in the season. And I have fun things set for you guys today, too. We are starting a new sponsor on the channel, which I'm really excited to share with you guys shortly. We're doing a giveaway in the next couple minutes for 2 tickets to the Mets home opener this Thursday. And it sucks I have to discuss this in the live chat with you guys when the Mets got the doors blown off of them once again, and we can't be happy about it. So, yeah, I'm so bothered right now. I am beyond bothered. And I'm trying my best not to be too emotional, especially earlier in the season. I suffer from anxiety, so it's things that sparks every now and then. But it's hard for me to hold anything back right now when we all witnessed a Mets team that decided not to perform at any point in either of these 2 games. Yeah, Brandon Nimmo had 3 hits today. Yeah, McNeil had 3 hits today. Good for them. But aside from that, nothing. Lindor, no show. Alonso, no show. Escobar doing it. He had a base hit today. Good for him. But, he's still been no show. Brett Beatty today as well, who's been killing it, exited the game with an injury, with a sore thumb, that same thumb that he broke and had surgery on last September after he was called up to the Mets. Hopefully it's nothing serious on that front, because he took a couple more swings and still got on base, and then he was pulled for a pinch runner. But, it's negativity in Mets land. Tommy Hunter was put on the IL today. They brought up Reyes, just a minor leaguer and he'd say 8.2 innings once Max's day was done. But there are just so many negatives from this series overall. I hope the Mets come out tomorrow and finally start to do something, because it's hard to even articulate just how disgustingly bad this entire 2-game set was for the Mets. Can anyone enlighten me? This is the first time also since 2021 against the Braves where the Mets where the Mets were shut out in back-to-back games like this. This was the first time since 2017 against the Diamondbacks that Max Scherzer allowed 3 consecutive home runs. And I'm not going to rag here on just Max again. He wasn't good today, but he was far and away the least of my concerns and overall what the bigger issue is with the Mets right now, which is their offense. It was non-existent again. Again, I'm not trying to brush aside and say what Max did today, shouldn't be acknowledged. Trust me, there are some worries on that front, but I have faith that Max will bounce back far more than I do with this Mets offense just being inconsistent. We know the inconsistencies. It was a top 5 offense last year, but when they're slumping, they're slumping. And the biggest issue with this lineup, folks, we've said it time and time again, they don't have enough pop. That's why bringing up Brett Beatty would have been ideal to start the year. But no, God forbid. I know, goodness gracious, God forbid the Mets decide to start the year with the top third base prospect in baseball, who was phenomenal in spring and has plenty of pop in his bat. Or even Mark Vientos at DH. I mean, these are just little things that, again, I understand 2 games out of a 162 might not impact much, but with the Mets expect to be in a dogfight throughout the year, with the Braves, with the Phillies, these games will matter at some point. They might not seem like they matter now, but they will at some point. And that's why if you're not even showing a valiant effort, I am going to call your ass out on it. It's as simple as that. This team was... they looked unbothered. They looked careless. They looked like a team that did not give a shit the past 24 hours with just how brutal their at-bats were. Wade Miley looking like Cy Young out there today. Freddie Peralta, same thing applied yesterday. I mean, what are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing? Wow, I'm bothered. I'm sorry. And also, shout out to the Brewers. I do not want to slight them at all. I ragged on them yesterday. I said that what happened yesterday, I didn't expect it again. You guys maybe eat my words right away. Congratulations to Brewers fans. I'm being wholehearted serious right now. You guys killed us this series. By us, I'm referring to the Mets, obviously. You deserve this. Holy shit. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I know we're going to be breaking down the game here shortly. Before I do, I want to get to some donations. Then we're going to do a quick ticket giveaway. And then after we do the ticket giveaway, we're going to go on with the show. I want to do the ticket giveaway a little earlier in the show, so that way I just have more time to just share my raw thoughts here. Because I want to have at least one positive in the show for you guys. Yeah, Grant, I'm sorry. Scott, thank you for the donation. They need to wake up. Appreciate that dono, my man. Horrible series, but we need to put this behind us. Appreciate the donation again. Red first time in franchise history, 0 runs in 20 innings, and giving up 9+ runs in back-to-back games. My anxiety's through the roof. John, I wouldn't get that concerned, but I can understand the frustration. Thank you so much for the dono. Pat, thank you so much for the donation as well. We better get used to this quote, another lefty, another loss. No, we have been used to it. I don't want to be used to something I already know. I'm too mad to stick around. Good luck, my brother. Thank you so much for the donation, Tim. Love you, my man. Appreciate all my OGs in here, all my new viewers. Again, make sure to smash that like and subscribe on as you're just chiming in. But... and I know the graphic says 10-0 when it was 9-0, but who cares? Who gives a shit? I'm sorry. Who gives a shit? It was the same result. It was like the same thing. Okay? All right. So, guys, what we're going to do right now before we get into more of the show, because I want to break down more about the Mets here. Again, I hate that I'm acting like this. I really do. I'm not happy, and this is not me not being genuine or anything. I'm so bothered by the lack of interest and the lack of proper location on pitches, everything. I mean, you got to tip the cap to the Mets here. It was an all-around effort to be such a shit show the past 24 hours. It really takes some effort to have a lack thereof in what we saw for the past day. So what I want to do right now is we're going to do a giveaway in the live chat. I announced this yesterday on social media. So I'm going to pick one random subscriber on the channel. All you guys got to make sure you're subscribed here on the YouTube channel. I'm going to pick one random comment in the live stream. And if I click on you, then I'm going to have you reach out to me either via Twitter DM or email. And I'll put my email in the description of the live stream if I didn't do it already. And you guys can reach out to me and I will give you 2 tickets to the Mets home opener. Nice seats higher up, but right behind home plate. So beautiful views. So guys, in a minute, we're going to start it. And all you have to do to enter for your chances, everyone right now. And Ed, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. One tomorrow in home opener. We got to breathe. We do got to breathe, just as we got to believe. But guys, everyone in the live show, do me a favor. And if you were interested in being a winner for the 2 home opener tickets for the Mets, start spamming me in the live chat right now. Just start spamming me. I'm going to randomly look away. I'm going to click. I'm not using StreamYard, my previous software, so when I click on it, it's not going to highlight the comment right away, but I'll tell you who I clicked on, and I will be genuine. I'm not going to pick, anyone specific. It's going to be random. So guys, just start spamming in the live stream me if you want a chance to win those tickets. And yeah, congratulations in advance to whoever wins this one. And the spam's going awesome. Again, continue smash those buttons, guys. I'm going to see if I could do it where when I click on the comment, I can pin the comment, because that would make life easier for me. But yeah, let's get into it. Halfway to 100 likes. Help us get to 100 for the show. Appreciate that, guys. Continue spamming. Like I said, in the next minute or so, let me see if I click. It's going to be so hard to click. Holy shit. I might need maybe I need to slow down the chat. Okay. Or I'm going to click on it and just tell you who I clicked on, guys. It's going to be as simple as that. So, again, good luck to everybody. We are doing it. So, the winner of 2 free tickets to the Mets home opener this Thursday that I know we're all ecstatic about after what was a shit show the past 24 hours is going to be the following. And it's going to be, let's see, Scott A. Scott A in the live stream. Scott A. You are the winner. I don't know who you are, but congratulations, my friend. Scott A., all you need to do, my friend, is reach out to me over Twitter DM if possible, or if email is better for you, then I will make sure I put my email in the description, but I'll actually pin my email here in the live chat. So, Scott A., you are the winner. Congratulations, my friend. Reach out to me as soon as you possibly can, and I will get back to you later tonight. And yeah, Scott A. is your winner, so congratulations to you, bud. So let me put this in the chat right now. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Why is everybody saying me still? It's over. Hold on. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay. I'm Scott. Hey, stop it. I know who Scott is in the live chat. So, yeah, Scott, I know that you commented multiple times. I just saw it. So, congratulations again on winning. At least there's one positive today. Thank you so much as well, GD, for the donations. This is Beatty, Alvarez, Vientos, Mauricio, among others, are the life of this team 2023 onwards. It's time to change. You can feel it. Bad management right now. It's not even as much bad management. There's just a lot of things not going right for this Mets team. But, yeah, I agree. I'm not happy with the Mets not starting the year with Beatty or Vientos, one of them at least. So, yeah, Scott A., one more time in the live stream, my man. Congratulations to you. Please make sure you reach out to me as soon as you can over Twitter DM or over my email, and I will get the tickets your way. I appreciate everyone. Again, we'll be doing a lot of giveaways this year, guys, so don't be bummed out that you didn't win this one. More will come, I assure you. But, again, congratulations, bud. You message me. Let me double-check so that way I have it. Scott, I got it, my man. I just followed you back. Thank you so much, brother. I will reach out to you. I will text you after the post-game show, and we'll get on to details. But congratulations again. JV with the dono says, I'm calling it early, Tyler. Mets going to set the MLB record this year for most shutout losses in a season. That is not going to come to fruition because I will not cover this team if that comes to fruition. But guys, let's get into this ball game now. It was absolutely terrible. I'm apology. Someone said Cohen is cursed. No, he's not. Shut up with that nonsense. I apologize as well for the profanity and everything heading into this one. Trust me, I'm not happy about it. But look, before even breaking down this ball game, just in a nutshell, and also, again, our channel sponsor starts tonight, which I'm excited to share with you all because it's a really dope thing that I'm going to be discussing in what is a really shitty show. It is what it is. I really can't watch these guys upset. Chalk, that's funny. Okay, so in a nutshell, even though this lineup, LeCastro, Yorme didn't start the game, look at how horrendous this is. If you're not McNeil and if you're not Nimmo, you're nothing today. You did absolutely jack all. Pathetic. Where is the offensive production here? It is nowhere to be seen. Okay, I know that in left, Canada was starting. I know Lindor was starting. They didn't do anything, so it doesn't matter. This is terrible. There is nothing. There is nothing to be happy about with this performance over the past 24 hours. And this is something where when we started last season, the Mets started last season on such a high. They were rolling from the jump. They were literally leading the MLB in like every offensive and like pitching statistic throughout the first month plus. So we didn't have any time to have any type of reaction or discussion like this until we got more so towards the second half of the year. But right now, we're 6 games in, and this team decided not to show up. So I'm sorry if I'm acting a little irrational here, but I care a lot about this Mets team. And when I know that they're underperforming on a payroll north of $400 million, including luxury tax, naturally I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. And today is one of those days. It's as simple as that. I hope that tomorrow they wake up, get some offense, so when we do a show tomorrow and a podcast, that we will have something positive to take away from the series. But besides that, what is going on? I mean, why? Like, what are we doing? Pitching-wise, let's get into pitching before breaking it down. You know, Mad Max was not good today at all. Not locating at all. Gave up those 3 bombs, just was not sharp. Those 3 consecutive bombs, the back-to-back-to-back he gave up in today's outing were all breaking balls, if I'm not mistaken, right down the pipe. Raley coming in relief in the 7th. Oh my God, what is this? Brian Anderson single-handedly killed the Mets this series. Brian Anderson single-handedly won the Brewers this series. It's not even funny. Former Miami Marlin, who was jack shit last season, was a non-tender, gets picked up by the Brewers, and he's murdering the Mets here. Good for him. Don't get me wrong. Don't have ill will with him, but he's a certified Mets killer now, and this sucks. Absolutely sucks. I mean, yeah, today's pitching, not fun either. Again, there are very little positive takeaways. There are none from this series. Yeah, Nimmo, awesome. Love seeing Nimmo doing Nimmo stuff. Same thing with McNeil. But there's no pop. There's nothing. Even when we watched the Marlins series, it wasn't pop at all. The Mets in advanced numbers were the worst hitting team through the first series of baseball with getting the ball in the air. You think it's changed in a positive fashion since then? No, it hasn't. It's been putrid. It's so bad. And our biggest issues heading into the year were this offense, right? Or they didn't do anything. So I really hope I pray to God that the Mets don't give, you know, this team long enough of a leash without doing at least internal options. Again, I'm praying Brett Beatty isn't too seriously hurt with his thumb, and he's just stayed today with the soreness. I'm fingers crossed, because God forbid if he's out long term, that's gonna be such a blow for this Mets team that's expecting Beatty to have quite the impact on them within I'd imagine the next month or so, right? I really do feel that way. Vientos, similar, you know, not the same degree. Vientos wouldn't be starting every day, but he has the pop. Vientos and Beatty bring elements to this lineup that are missing, along with just having youth. It doesn't hurt to have youth, okay? Especially when you have Eduardo Escobar, and again, I love you, Eddie. I don't think that you're deserving of being the Mets starting third baseman this year. You haven't proved it. You performed in 1 month last year versus the top third base prospect in baseball that did all he could to be on the starting roster to start the year, and the Mets still sent him down. Okay, so Eddie as DH, I'm all for that, right? And at times as third base, but it's Bay's time, so I really hope he's not out long. Ryan, thank you for the dono. He says next year Nimmo, Lindor, Ohtani, Alonso, Alvarez, McNeil, Beatty, Marte, Mauricio. Terrible today, just terrible power we need. Yeah, I'm not worried at all about next year. This is a team in a win now stage. I'm worried about them right now. So that is where it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes the Mets to bring up their internal options. Thank you for the dono, John. John says Max 7 runs in 11 innings. Buck, he had a good stuff. I mean, yeah, that's typical Buck though. It doesn't matter what. I mean, I can give two shits about what Buck said in the post game on that front. It changes nothing. It's normal post game baseball talk, simple as that. But let's break down a little bit about this game, shall we? Bear with me 1 second, everybody. And again, I know the Mets didn't lose 10-0. They lost 9-0. Potato, the same thing. We're close to 100 likes. Help us get there, guys. Really does mean a lot. And once more, thank you guys all so much for chiming in. Shout out to Scott once again for being the winner for the 2 tickets. Okay. Let's get into this damn ball game. Holy shit, I'm pissed. And I hate you have no idea how mad I am that I'm acting like this right now. This early in the season. Unbelievable. But again, it's unbelievable. When these numbers are the way they are, I have every right to act the way I do. I'm sorry, I do. When you do it 1 game out of a series, okay. It's a shit game. It's a blowout. You brush it over. When you lose a game, when you lose a series, rather, like this, 19 runs to nothing, the Brewers hit 7 ding-dongs off of the Mets, including a Mad Max start. What are we doing? Patrick, thank you for the donation, says, no, but let's keep Beatty, Vientos, Alvarez, and AAA. Biggest weakness was not having any power bats outside. This is a result of not having. So it's more than that. Don't get me wrong, because yes, you need power to drive it in. But I mean, even just getting base hits, I mean, the Mets had multiple chances today with 1 or 2 guys on, less than 2 out, and just couldn't drive them in. They're off to a slow start with the runners of scoring position. And I hope tomorrow it's a situation where they just have a great, nice bounce-back game, and I can say, okay, these losses sucked, but they're on the path. They're in the right direction. They will be. There's no doubt that they will be. But you can't not perform this poorly over a 24-hour span and expect there to be no repercussions with the fan base and how we're going to react. Okay? I'm the opposite of Frank Fleming. So to see me being this animated is a lot. It's quite embarrassing, to say the least. Let's get back to scene one. All right, let's talk about this damn game. We got a partner that we're going to be discussing shortly that I'm excited to share with you guys. Shout out to my roughly 450 live viewers. Appreciate you all. But guys, in a nutshell, let's just fast forward. There's a couple lanes that stand out. I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. We get to the 6th inning, right? It's a 2-0 Brewers lead at this point. Roddy Tellez, Brian Anderson, and Mitchell all say, how you effing doing, Mets? Mad Max take him deep, back to back to back. It's a 5-0 ball game. This Mets offense was putrid entering the game, continued. Any life that they had was sucked right out of them at that point. We get to the 7th. Brooks Raley comes in. Yelich with a single, because I guess Yelich is back to being decent again. He's a base knocking out guy. I know he's not as known for the power. As I say that, he's going to hit a grand slam tomorrow, knocking on wood. Adames with a bloop single. Anderson with a 2-run home run. Brian fucking Anderson today. 6 RBIs, 2 home runs. He's batting .533 and a roughly 1,800 OPS to start the year. A non-tender claim. I saw some people talk about juice baseballs too. Dave, I love you, my man. I pray that isn't the case. I saw some people talking about juice baseballs. No, because it can't be one-sided. It can't be one. Max was hating pitches right down the dick today. He did not pitch well. We all know that. I'm not saying to kick him off the team or anything, but he didn't pitch well. He hasn't had a strong start to the season. He is also at the age of 39. Am I shocked that as great as he is, a savvy vet like his maybe isn't sharp from the beginning? No, I'm not. I do expect Max to get in a rhythm. I know he will. But rough start for him. But more than anything, horrendous start for this Mets offense. And I know a lot of you guys predicted it too. That's the thing. Mike, thank you for the donation. Max wasn't good, but 1, 2, 3 innings aren't helping him get any rest too. I agree. That's 100% true. 1, 2, 3 innings with the pitch clock is something to make note of, and I am certainly doing that. So that's a good point, Mike. I appreciate that. I'm in agreement. I'm more worried about the offense than the Hall of Famer right now. LFGM, thank you for the donation. The Braves are young and hungry while the Mets are old and greedy. I don't see us competing. The Mets will certainly compete this year. I promise you that one. We're just frustrated because they just had this. I think the reason why I'm so animated, guys, as being a Mets fan, this is the worst 2-day span of baseball I've ever seen. It's one thing to not show up with the bats. It's another to not have the pitching either to this magnitude. To get this embarrassed, I know it's game 6, but you would have to be a fool to think that Steve is happy right now. This was pathetic. This was unbelievably pathetic, what we witnessed. JV, thank you for the donation. He says, what can we expect? It's the same team from last year, just minus Naquin, Ruff, and Jankowski. And again, things will change, but this is not fun. To start, this sucks. I'm so pissed. You guys have no idea how pissed I am. And we have an early day game tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed with a pounding headache. Cover this team tomorrow. They better win tomorrow. I swear to God. They better win tomorrow. Or at least show an effort tomorrow. Just show an effort tomorrow. Give me an effort tomorrow. Okay? Give me an effort tomorrow, and I'll take it. And then tomorrow we will do post-game show and a podcast live later in the evening, or we'll just do podcast live. We'll actually be indicative on tomorrow's performance, honestly. Because if it's another bad game, then I'll probably just wait till the podcast when we go live, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow or so with Joe Sorrello. Rec will be out of town, but it'll just be Joe and I. I'll probably have a still image of Rec in the show just for shits and giggles. But yeah, I know Joe isn't happy. I mean, like, again, we know how early it is in the season, so the fact that we're talking about this is insane. The Mets have went, what? How many innings? I can't do math. The Mets have went at least 18 innings without scoring a run. Probably more. Probably at least 20. Like, what? Or maybe it was 17. Whatever it is. Corbin Burns is pitching tomorrow, too. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. Can't you tell? I'm absolutely ecstatic. Hold on, guys. Let me check something right now. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get into the one positive today, because I really need to share this with you all. Again, shout out to my roughly 450 live viewers. This will only take like 2 minutes, but this is a huge deal for the channel and throughout the entirety of the season, because this is something that we can play along with together. Many of you guys know this already, but I have partnered with Sora MLB. Sora is a phenomenal baseball fantasy game that you can play on your computer. You can play via the app, and this thing is absolutely phenomenal. And when they reached out and we got an agreement done to be partners together, I was ecstatic, not only because of obviously the support it brings to the channel, but more than anything, this game is actually awesome. If you guys are into MLB The Show, if you are into any sports game where you're doing your own creative team, it's that exact type of philosophy, but you're mixing that with fantasy baseball. I know many of you guys have heard this game already because, you know, we've seen other awesome YouTubers, all good friends of mine, Draftneck Mark, Fuzzy, Ballcap Sports, the list goes on and on. A lot of my good friends in the baseball community are all partnering with Sora as well, and I am for a good majority of the season, and this game is awesome. And in a nutshell, what it is, in case you guys are unaware, is you draft your own team, you get 200 gems, which is their version of currency in the game, and you have to draft yourself 2 starting pitchers at least, a relief pitcher, 2 infielders, and 2 outfielders, and you do tournaments weekly. You do twice a week, and how your team performs is completely indicative on how the players actually perform in real life. That's why this game is so sick. This is my team. I'm off to a rough start, mainly because the Mets not heading and doing for shit, so that's on me for being the bias. But like, see, my first week in my tournament, prospect tournament, I'm 2700th out of 3,500. I have Dylan Cease, I have Andrew Chafin, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Masataka Yoshida had a home run, so he had 25 points. Yo Moncada and Shane McClanahan as my other player. And how these works is you do these tournaments weekly, and depending on the ranking in your tournament, you will then get prizes, and prizes include MLB tickets to go to games like the tickets that we gave away today, or they will be by upgrading your cards, because the same way that you play an MLB The Show, the same applies here in the sense of you can get upgraded cards either by if you're going to pay for, depending on what type of tournament that you're entering, or you can win them if you perform well in your own tournament with all your cards that you don't have to pay for. They are free of charge to start, and that was the same with me. So this game is awesome. You don't have to spend a dime. So all I ask is that if you guys are interested in this and want to follow along with me, and if you're on social media on Twitter, share your team with me each week, and you can go up against me in these tournaments every single week. We will be talking about it, updating the team, seeing where we're at. It's going to go in hand with the Mets as well. So guys, again, if you were interested in something like this, I highly implore you to make sure to click the link in the description below. It really does mean a lot. It's a great way to support the channel. And again, you don't have to do anything besides just click the link, sign up, and play, and let me know how you do, because this is one of the first things I've ever done as a partnership where I'm absolutely in love with what it actually is. This is a fun game. I've been doing it weekly, and I will continue to, regardless of the fact that I am partnered with them, which I'm grateful for. So make sure to check them out if you haven't already. That's Sora MLB. Link is in the description of the video for you to download, check out. And if you do, make sure to let me know so I can thank you in advance. And yeah, make sure to check out Sora. We will be talking about them every single week on the channel for a good portion of the season. Shout out to them once more. And again, they just so many dope tournaments. If you go into play, I'll just show you guys this real quick, and then we'll get back to the game here for a second. They have different levels of tournaments. As you see, prospect, minors, and it tells you it's cut off here, but it tells you how many participants. So, you know, let's see, minors has roughly 8,000 participants, and then you go lower. And again, if you decide that you want to put money into this game, then you can enter these tournaments where you get really, really dope cards that are unique to you, that are only yours. So that's very cool about it. So again, shout out So Rare one more time. I really, really appreciate them being partners in the channel. I'm excited to see how this deal will go with them throughout the year. All right, now let's get back into it. Again, appreciate the donations, guys. And I also apologize. I'm sorry that I'm showing off an awesome new partnership on a day that the Mets get their teeth kicked in, but this was already pre-scheduled. I wasn't going to push it any longer. So I really do want to say once more, if any of you guys sign up, please let me know, because I love this game. I cannot emphasize enough how much I like it, especially for I'm beyond grateful that I have them as a partner because the thing is really, really cool. So I hope you guys check it out whenever you get the chance. But Eric, thank you so much for the $19 donation. He says, here you go, Worry, $1 for every run the Mets have given up to the Brewers this season. I wish it was a million runs. All jokes aside, Mets have given up to the Brewers this season only 2 damn games. Spend this on 2 tall, cold, frosty beers as you need them as much as I do, my man. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate that. Once I get the YouTube payment net 30, I will certainly put that towards good use, and I'll do exactly what you said, 2 frosty beers at Citi Field. Citi Field prices, though, might only be able to get 1.5, right? And thank you for the sign-up picks. I appreciate that. Damn, hate Milwaukee, Sapucky, wouldn't know hit him. 1200, appreciate you being back in here, my man. Shout out to you. Shout out 1200, who's a great follower of mine. Oh, geez. The Zapucky talk, if you know, you know. I'm Braves fan, but I really respect how classy you are to other teams, Rory. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And that's the biggest thing. Look, I'll gladly rag on teams and when the Mets beat up on them and things of that nature, but I do it out of fun. I always call it out. Like, the Mets look so bad. You know, they look so bad in this series. I have nothing to say, but other than the Brewers were 1,000% the better team. I mean, 100%. They made this Mets team with such a big payroll look absolute shit, and they should be proud of that. They really should be. Let's see. Someone said nose ring, LOL. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. Males actually wear nose rings. Who would have thought? Took you long enough. I've had it for a really long time on the channel now. That's funny. But, guys, I want to ask everyone in the live show and for people on replay, what is your concern level with the Mets right now between 1 to 10? Concern level for me, I personally have at a 3.5, 4. I'll probably say 3.5, 4, given how early it is in the year. It's not as much concern for me as it is me just being pissed off. Me being pissed off with them not showing up at all. And if this is something that, say, continues for the next week, then that concern will rise, even with it being this early in the season. Because games matter. It's not one of those situations where, oh, okay, you decide that, you know, April games don't matter, but the end of the year does. No, every game matters because it will impact the Mets down the road. We all know that, and this will be a dogfight. The Mets are not going to go away and blow away and win this division with ease. Even in the scenario where they would win the division, which I'm not saying that they would, no one is going to blow away and win this division this year. I can promise you that. If they do, then we'll come back to this, and I'll look like an ass per usual again. But let's get into the comments here. Let's see. 9, 6, 10, 6, 5, 5, 7, 5, 6, 2. Nardogs being the nice optimist. I like that. 8, 10, 6, 10, 6, 6, 6. That's less than ideal. 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 8, 3. It's game 6. Yeah, I'm more frustration than concern. I think we're all feeling that exact same way. I look like a mess too. I look like such a shit show right now. You'd call me the Mets is what you'd call me right now. Also, you have 2 nose rings. Nice, very cool. All right, but just look at this. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? Against the fucking Brewers? We made the Brewers look like the best things in sliced bread today. The past 24 hours, rather. I agree, Shraken. Thank you for your support as always, though. Like, what? What? Like, what are we doing? Brooks Raley was so good in that Miami series, too. He just... Brewers hot. Brewers got hot as soon as they faced the Mets, apparently. Patrick Mahomey. I love that name. That's funny. Thank you so much for Dono. He says, we need good young pitching badly. Thinking long-term, Braves core is young but already peaking. Have a elite bullpen locked up. Rotation is solid too. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Oh, and guys, one last thing that I did want to mention regarding So Rare. And I'll get back to your comment here. And that player of the game is from the other day. One last thing I'll say on this as well, if I didn't mention already. You can buy, sell, trade, and collect your cards after you draft them. So again, it's the same philosophy in the sense of you playing MLB The Show and doing your own team, which again is why I love it, or any other sports game. Like for me, I didn't grow up necessarily playing MLB The Show. I played a lot of NHL, so I would play Hockey Ultimate Team. You know, same thing with FIFA, same thing with, you know, playing Madden. All those apply. So that's just one last thing I want to say on the So Rare front in case I didn't mention. Another reason why I like it, because again, you can trade your cards. You can, you know, redraft, you can get very creative, and it's very strategic about how the scoring system is in this. It's one of those things where you need to be wary on, okay, you have to make sure your pitcher is obviously pitching that week, who they're matching up against, and your hitters, their matchups, you have to favor some guys over the other. So there is a lot of strategy. And again, one more thing as to why I really do like that game. It's a lot more interesting than maybe, like, it's not complex. There's just a lot going on in it, which as a diehard baseball fan like myself, I enjoy. It's simple to get around, but there's a lot going on in the sense where, like, if you really hone in on the game and the rules, you can really become a good player at it and fast. And the biggest thing is your team only performs based on how your team does. So I know that we all love being Homer Mets fans, but I would not suggest drafting your entire team out of Mets players because you're not going to perform well on a night-to-night basis. So you got to try to, be even-keeled how you normally would with fantasy baseball and making the right picks. My frustration level is at 10, says JV. Can you feel my disappointment when Dom Smith is hitting better than Alonso Lindor? Yes, but that personally, the Dom Smith comparison, I don't give a shit about that. It's a week into the season. We'll see how they do by the end of the year. If Dom Smith is batting 260 with 45 home runs and 130 RBIs, then I'll be upset. But that I can care less about. What I do care about, though, is the Mets not doing anything. And the guys that are supposed to step up aren't stepping up early. Shrackin, thank you so much for donation. It says, we need our top guys to be held accountable. I just overall, they just need to get their shit together. They do. Such a bad series. A horrendous series. And it's not even over yet. I mean, they need to get out of Dodge fast in Milwaukee because this is not boding well. Again, they look drunk. They're not paying attention. We need good young pitching badly, thinking long-term. Braves core is young, but already peaking. Have a elite bullpen locked up. Rotation is solid, too. Braves have a great team. Long term, their depth in their farm is weak because they brought up a lot of their guys now. But the Braves Phillies are going to be a constant pain in the butt for a bit now, and it's imperative for the Mets to make sure that minimum they can stay on their level or close to their level. And those games are going to mean so much more, guys. When we cover the rivalry matchups this year, it's going to be so big because they're not playing each other like, north of 20 times a year now. They're only playing 13. So though that NL East matchup with the Marlins, which was a good start, but then when you face the Nationals, the Braves, the Phillies, those games are going to be huge. Michael Blair, thank you so much for the donation. He says, team just looks lost offensively. We need the kids to bring life to this team. Let Brett play. Thank you so much for the dono, Michael. I appreciate that. I don't believe what I'm seeing, and I agree with Brett. Peterson will be knocked down the third inning tomorrow. Dave, don't be like that, Dave. I love you, Dave. Don't be pessimist. I'm not wishing that. I'm not wishing any bad on the Mets tomorrow. Hopefully Peterson can give the Mets 5 to 6 solid innings. That's all I'm asking. Again, it ain't gonna mean shit if the offense doesn't do anything. I much rather the Mets offense to wake up tomorrow and ball out, and the Mets lose if they don't have pitching, versus having a solid outing and not having offense again. Because the offense is where we're having the biggest bugaboos right now. The pitching will figure itself out. It should, at least. But offensively, come on. It's not like this lineup's injured. Be better. Be better. I am going to be getting out of here in the next 5 minutes, Mets fans. But before I do, I want to thank you all once more for chiming in the show. I appreciate it. One last thing I will ask you guys, too. This is separate. How are you guys liking the graphics of the show so far? I know that not everyone loves them, and that's understandable. Again, no one's always going to love what I do. I mean, I'm an ass, too, so that goes in hand. But in all seriousness, let me know, guys, how you feel about the graphics of the show. And there will be more as well when we're bringing in callers, hopefully as soon as next week, if not the following week, is my goal to start bringing in callers and guests. But again, we're going to have pitching stats live update every single game, hitting stats live update, obviously our So Rare scene for where we're doing our So Rare segments every week, our player of the game. I still have a Kodai Senga from the Miami series because no one has performed well now. And John, thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for signing up. But yeah, I hope you guys like everything that is going on this front because it's going to make the shows look a little bit banger this year. I mean, I'm not going to hide. hide that at all. I really love how they look. And shout out to my man. You know who you are. Have a great editor who really helped out a lot with this, and the ticker as well. I mean, I really think it's just going to make things look more enjoyable naturally, so that way you're just not stuck looking at this stupid ass face every day. Let's see. It's nice when you get the score right. It is nice, Sammy, but in my defense, it was a one-run difference, and I was pissed off entering the show. Let me have this. Got to get the eyebrows waxed, dude. They just got my barber just cleaned them up the other day. Why do they look? They don't look. They're cleaned up. Why am I getting eyebrow slander? You guys. My girlfriend just said, "Fuck them." That's hilarious. Mets will improve tomorrow. 10-0, 9-0. Now it's gonna be 8-0. Dave, stop. Worried it's a mess. Oh God. Worried it's a mess because of the score. Give me a break. Give me a break. All right, guys. I'm fed up. Are you fed up? Are you fed up with tonight's game? Because I am. I'm over this shit. I'm done talking about it. That's it. All right. I love you. Thank you guys so much. My 300 to 400 live viewers, but I'm out of here. I mean, this was putrid. I mean, now I'm honestly even pissed off that they have a day game tomorrow. Because it's like I can't even start to enjoy my day tomorrow because then before you know it, the game's on. Like, I hope that they give me a reason to be happy tomorrow. But I'm out of here. This is it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Mets lose by a final score of 9-0, not 10-0. They look drunk once again. They look to maybe not look drunk tomorrow and avoiding their first what would be a series sweep where they are on the bad end of being swept to the Milwaukee effing Bruins.